What are some other terms that we discovered last night? Derogatory terms
No
that
monkeys.
talk about white people. I forget all of them.
Mayosexuals.
I thought it was Mayo sapiens.
Maybe
Yeah,
that
it was male
it.
sapiens.
Mayo monkey. Snow
Mayo
maggot.
monkey. Mayo monkey was my favorite.
Oh, we're live now. Okay, this is
Blizzard crickets.
No balls.
Corey Long dropped in $2. Said, "Start the chat, you turd burglar." Sorry. I started the chat. It was on time. I was 4 seconds early.
Honda just goes around, checks people off of like public toilets, steals their turds, runs out.
I saw a turd that was roughly the size of a Coke can once.
Jesus.
And I pitied that poor man because that had to hurt. It was solid.
Yeah.
Could he not flush it? Like there was just like
Yes.
a Coke can turd in the fucking.
Yes, you could not flush it, and no one had like a plunger or anything to break it up, so it just like would sit sideways, and people kept pushing the flusher. It was like after like 3 weeks of being out in the field, so I get what happened.
Oh.
Is he didn't poop for 3 weeks, or like probably a week.
Ate a bunch of MREs or something. Just
ate a bunch of MREs out in the field and got blocked up, and then finally had to go. But I'm just thinking they had to.
Oof. It's basically
I remember
like a big cock in your ass.
No one cares about that.
Yep.
Fucking I remember being like football age, like high school, like I'd eat like 8,000 calories a day just because you're working that hard and you're working out that much and you're doing that much physical activity to the point where that's the amount of calories you need to eat. Yeah. And you would take like football dumps, dude, like before the game, dude. They would take all the football players to a restaurant or whatever. I forget what it was, but they'd like, get everybody some food before the game. And if you were playing, you'd get like a salad and drink some water. But if you were like one of the dudes who wasn't going to start or even play that game, because there'd be like, 75 people on the team, something like that. And only half of them even play, the rest are just backups that sit there and fucking stay warm. So they eat a fuck ton. And then you get back to the school and everyone starts changing into their pads. And there is a line for every bathroom in the school. And everyone's just taking like, football dumps, dude.
Football dumps.
Creatine shits.
You seen that video of that football team that comes on the field in the the horse carrier? You know what I'm talking about?
A horse carrier? What?
Like a horse trailer.
Okay, wait. What were they bringing?
What?
I'm sorry, I was reading right then.
The players come on the field with someone pulling a truck and a horse trailer, and they like break out of it. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool video. You should.
I'm trying to think of who.
Were they
like a college team?
It's just no. It's like a high school team.
No,
okay.
like the thing that they used to do is they'd make a banner, like a giant ass fucking banner for every game, and then they'd hold it out so no one could see the team hiding behind the banner. Like that's how big it was, and there'd be like cheerleaders on each side of it and shit. And then like you get to burst through the paper, like, oh, I'm so tough, I can break paper, and then everyone runs out. I don't know.
Football's so gay.
I agree. Football's pretty gay. That's why I don't watch it anymore. It was fun playing it for what it was, and like I could have gone down the path and paid for college with it or whatever. I was tired of working out 6 hours a day and taking football dumps.
Here's the I got the link in here in the private chat. It's just you don't have to play the sound, but it's just a bunch of high school kids coming out of a big old hog trailer, I guess, is what it says.
Joey Savoy dropped in $5. Thank you, sir. It said, I don't know why I'm giving you money on my birthday, but oh well. Happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday. May the year ahead be better than the years behind. May your dreams come true. May your heart's desires be fulfilled and your work in the next year be well paid.
May the next year be like being fucked with a slightly smaller dick.
I hope that you get a gun that you want, because that's always a good thing to get on your birthday.
That is a good birthday gift.
Guns on your birthday are cool.
My birthday is in a couple of days here too.
Is it?
What
Yes.
gun would you want for your birthday if you could get one right now?
Yeah.
Around the room.
I don't know. I've kind of been wanting a semi-auto pistol caliber carbine of some kind, like a Streebog or even like a Glock with a Roni or something like that. I don't know which direction I'd want to go, but that's kind of what I've been thinking.
I really want something like that too. I keep looking at that Flex Raider thing for the 320.
Like if money wasn't an issue, it would be the CZ Scorpion with the Foldy Boy pistol brace and a Echo trigger. But you know,
I found out that FN makes a short barreled SBR AR. So it's the military classic line. It's like a small AR, but it's a short barreled rifle. I want that so bad right now. I'm almost there to get it.
How long is the barrel on it?
It's 10.5 inches, but it has I will pay the tax stamp so that I can have a. I don't want a brace. I want a stock. So.
I really think the whole tax stamp thing is overrated, but that's just me.
honestly, as far as I'm concerned, because you can get a pistol brace, I wouldn't ever get a fucking tax stamp myself.
I agree.
Because functionally, it's not like, what's the difference? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate to say that to the ATF or whatever, and they're going to change it maybe someday. And if they do change it, like, not going to be talking like this anymore because the things have changed, right? Like, the game has changed. The logic of how you deal with the situation is different. But under the current logic, under the current ethos or whatever you want to call it, that's the way it works. So why wouldn't you take advantage of it?
I agree.
Yes.
Plus, the whole having to fill out paperwork to go across state lines with them is kind of BS. I think.
Yeah, or selling it. Now you want to sell it, and now you have to sell it with a tax stamp, right?
Yep.
And then whoever you
limit
sell
your
it
buyers,
to, right? Whoever you sell it to has to go through the same year-long, whatever it takes now, process to get it. Like,
That's
Jesus
the other
Christ,
thing.
no one wants to do that.
That's the other thing for me is if it was a 2-week thing, okay, I'd probably have a couple of tax stamps by now. But because the wait is fucking 6 months to a year, I don't know. I don't want to wait that long for my shit, I guess.
We just shit all over Duke's dreams, though.
I mean, I get that. To me, it is more of a deal of wanting to collect that because I have the FN Military Classics M4 and A2. So I kind of want the third one in line. So it has more to do with that than functional, getting a functional rifle. So
I get that.
Daniel dropped in $2 and said, "Tonight is give never enough ammo shit night since he's on vacation."
That is true.
Never enough buttholes.
I'm trying to think of what is it that Matt wouldn't like to be called or whatever? What is it that would get under his skin?
Coconut flake.
Yeah, you call him a liberal or something. I mean, I know how to set him off in a debate, right? You just mention abortion and an hour goes by and he's still talking about it.
But I don't know how many times he and I have debated abortion for fucking over an hour. And we basically agree.
Tell him that he doesn't know shit about the supply chain.
Well, we had that huge debate about evolution the other night. And basically we agreed on everything except for he was just nope, but you're wrong. Because you couldn't show the complete, step-by-step evolutionary track from monkey to human, basically.
Show your work.
Right. Well, no, it's kind of a hard thing to find, and they don't really know how it worked. They just know, there were these human-like fucking monkey things running around, and then they were, more human-like, and then there was us. I think they have shown a pretty good progression of how it works, just not every fucking step of the fucking stairway. You know what I mean?
If you listen to History Channel expert Giorgio Tsoukalos, Göbekli Tepe is where the aliens or the Star Children came and altered our DNA. So.
Dude, I really want them to dig up all of Göbekli Tepe and like actually have some sort of an interpretation that's close to what it was for. Like, the thing about it is, though, is they don't have any writing, so everything is like animal depictions of things, you know. So like, who knows what it means, or who knows what they meant by it, or who knows why that's there. But I mean, that's the problem, is pre-fucking history, right? Pre-writing, you can't really know anything. And I've always since I was a child, that was always a subject that I've been interested in. Like, I remember watching Conan the Barbarian and wondering why I liked it so much. It's like, oh, that's because this is about that time, like before the flood from the fucking ice melting and all the shit and, Ice Age fucking history of human beings that we don't really know about, but we know happened. It's very interesting to me.
I always liked that same shit, man, especially like the Atlantis stuff and like the possibility of ancient alien contact. Even I find interesting. I don't find that as interesting as like the lost civilization stuff, but like there's not that many people that look into the kind of things that we're talking about, and the ancient astronaut people do a shit ton of it.
I don't know, man. The problem that I have with them is with the like faintest little bit of evidence about something, they'll like expound and expound and expound, and then you're like in this whole other fucking realm of like, it's like a thought experiment almost.
It is a thought experiment, I think.
But I don't always like. I like to be in control of the thought experiment to some extent, you know.
I found that video of the fucking weird aluminum wedge from 10,000 years ago or whatever because of them.
Hey, everybody. You're going to be proud of me. All the anti-knife people.
Ooh, nice. I like it.
Spyderco?
Spyderco. I found it.
That's like $150 knife.
I looked it up. It's $80.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you find it?
On the floor.
Oh.
It looks
cool.
Looks like a paramilitary. What is it?
It's a 8CR13 MOV.
Oh, okay. So it's a Endura.
How do you know that? You just know from a fucking series of letters. It's like coding.
That's the kind of steel it is. It's a tenacious, not Endura.
Tenacious. What does that mean?
It's steadfast like a dick.
I know what okay. What is, in the context of a Spyderco knife, what does tenacious mean?
So it means that it's like their budget line of knife. They have a budget line that's like tenacious, resilience, and something that is in that same series of words. They're all like the same knife, but bigger and smaller.
All right. Well, to all you people who were like, "Oh, Honda doesn't like that," I found one and I picked it up because I recognize that it's a Spyderco and it's probably worth something, even if it's their cheap line. It's the cheapest knife that they make.
It's still, I don't know current prices, but that's still probably a $50, $60 knife, easy.
Well, when I looked it up, it was $80. I'm sure you could probably find it for cheaper if you know where to buy it. If you're one of those knife people, like I'm a gun person, you know the place to get the knife deal.
Yeah, you go on Budk.
You tell me that I'm dumb for getting it for $80, but when I just Googled it and looked, it was $80.
What was that website that you all hated, but it had like really cheap, crazy stuff?
Budk.
Budk.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Budk is like fucking awesome, dude.
We should look at Budk again.
Yeah, we should definitely do that because I'm.
That's what you need
way ahead of you boys.
On your vest at work. Is you just need a bunch of Bud K stuff.
Yo.
Just go in there looking like Blade.
I want to see Duke looking like King Arthur talking to a group of people at a hospital. Yo, thou, you must not gather here, people.
Duke gets a call, like, bust open a hospital room or something. It's like, some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill.
Oh,
We need to find Duke the most ridiculous knife to carry at work.
He needs the Wolverine claws.
No, he needs a fucking Frodo sword that like glows blue. He can just be like sitting there. Oh,
Dude,
there's
where do you
orcs
even
nearby.
hold this thing?
you hold it there, right there. You
I guess, yeah.
grab that part.
It's like every end is sharp. This is
a bad
That's
idea.
what you should carry.
It is such a bad
you
idea.
should carry, the one where every end is sharp.
Oh, that's funny.
Corey Long says, now Honda carry the damn knife. As I was explaining to Angry before the chat, once again, there's a very logical reason why I don't carry a knife. That's because everywhere I go, there's already a knife. If I'm going for a hike in the woods, I will bring a
Now
knife.
you have a tenacious.
You can be tenacious with your tenacious.
Tenacious D.
The tenacious Steve.
We need to find like a sword for Duke.
Just a big old like claymore. Or no, he needs like a big war hammer. Like Duke seems like somebody that would carry a war hammer around.
Oh,
Like Robert Baratheon.
Warhammer's cool.
You just need a cane sword for work. You're like, oh, I'm just a lonely
an old
old
man.
Duke out on the road. Hope nothing goes wrong. Sha! You fucking stab and jab.
And I like chop
Stab
someone's
jab.
arm off with it.
He parries someone that draws a knife on him.
When we make like some shitty movie version of this, Duke should draw his little cane sword and like chop someone's whole arm off.
Have you ever seen the documentary, The One?
Ah,
Oh, no, wait,
yeah.
it wasn't The One. It wasn't The One. What am I thinking? Oh god. It's an old movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme where they had a fight in the tournament, but it starts off where he's all old. He's like the Kumite winner or whatever, that one.
Bloodsport?
Bloodsport. Yeah, the beginning of Bloodsport where
Yeah.
he's all old
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he fucks everybody up with a cane.
Yeah.
That's Duke in 10 years.
Yeah.
I love Bloodsport.
It's a movie
Yeah.
about Duke's future is really what that is.
I like that.
One day when Duke's drafted into an international kickboxing fighting club or something.
Mortal Kombat. We all played that really loud and danced. Like danced
Oh, yeah.
when your mom was like at work or gone, and like you
Oh, yeah.
turn it up and you and your cousin had like a big fight, like a fight scene, and you got the knives out and you were like throwing them and
Jesus Christ, dude. Medieval sword collector starter kit. $100 and you get 4 fucking swords.
Those are like
How-
wall hanger things.
How shitty are these, dude?
well, they look cool though, because one of them's Gandalf's sword, isn't it? If you go to the main one, yeah, the one on the far
Looks
right.
like Aragon's sword.
Yeah, it's Aragon.
Yeah. Those are kind of cool looking though. I mean, like
Yeah.
you would hit them against something and they'd crack,
You
but
know-
they'd be cool wall hangers.
They were made by Chinese slaves, probably, but
Yeah,
They're all
that's not cool.
If your TV starts floating across the living room in the middle of the night and you swing at the dark spot that it's floating underneath, would it hurt it?
what?
I'm saying
Maybe.
if someone
I mean-
came in the middle of the night and was stealing your TV and you grabbed one of these off the wall and like swung at their stomach, would it fuck them
Oh
up?
yeah, it would still hurt them because they're still getting hit. It might not slice them open, but it's still gonna hurt because you're still gonna get hit with a chunk of metal.
Could you sharpen these to the point where you get one good swing out of it?
Maybe.
But you might swing and it might just fly through the hilt would come loose
Just
from
flies
the
off
sword.
the handle.
Yeah.
I mean,
Embeds itself
I'd
into
swing
the
it
wall.
around a couple times to make sure it's at least like solid enough to not fly apart by swinging it. You know,
You would get a couple of good swings, I think, if you sharpened it well enough.
The thing with a
There's
cheap
been people-
sword is that like when you go to hit things, there's a bunch of flex in the blade, and most like cheap steel or whatever is just gonna like bend. So, 'cause
Yeah,
those
that's true.
I'm guessing aren't heat treated properly for that price.
could you heat treat it properly? Could you get one of these swords and like fix it so it doesn't suck?
Probably not.
You're just breaking all my dreams.
Yeah.
Daniel
Says
says,
they have-
"Oh, good.
It says they have stainless steel blades. That would be a big, hurdle.
Daniel dropped in $5. Said, "You see that someone in the UK got a live World War II mortar they found stuck in their butt yesterday. I did see something about that."
Yep.
1 in a million shot, Doc. 1 in a million. Yeah, it fucking went up his butt. Apparently, I don't know how it got there. I didn't read the story. I just heard it. And he had to go to like the proctologist or whatever to like have them remove it, and it's a news story. That's all I know about it. It's pretty nice, pretty good.
Yeah, the sad part is all the proctologist is gonna do is like give you some muscle relaxers and go, okay, 1, 2, 3, and yank it out.
That sounds so terrible. Okay, let's see what the most expensive Bud K sword is. 728. Okay, how about this single sword? Most expensive single sword. The Emerald Dragon Katana and Scabbard.
Ooh, I like that purple.
Is that Duke or Jolly here?
That sounded like Jolly, kind of.
It did.
$422. Could you swing this and kill your intruder?
Yes. At that price, that's probably made in China, but it's made well. I mean, I'd want to learn some more about it, but like just based on the price range.
Well, it says that it's forged, so it's got that going for it at least too.
Does it have a differentially heat-treated blade?
1060 carbon steel blade. That's all it says.
That's good enough.
Literally handcrafted masterpiece from blade to scabbard. It has been forged and painted with master smiths and artists. The katana's full tang, hand-forged, 29-inch, 1060 carbon steel blade, which extends to a polished brass hibaki. Hibaki? How do you say that? I don't fucking know.
There's a lot of Japanese words for all the parts. I'm looking zoomed in on the blade, and it is made like a real katana. It's differentially heat treated. You can see a little line down it.
Yeah, but they can fake that.
Yeah, but that one looks pretty real. Like the fake ones don't look anything like that. And it's really cheap to do. So I don't know why you would try to fake it.
Well, it's just where you put like clay on it or whatever on the fucking blade side, and then leave the rest of it open to air, and you heat the whole thing up, and it doesn't get quite as hot where the clay is. And then when you quench it in oil, it hardens the top and not the bottom.
I wouldn't buy a katana that didn't have that.
This is what you need, Duke. An extend-a-boy.
I just figured out the best of both worlds. What Duke needs. He needs cattle prods. It's like a baton that also shocks people.
That's not a bad idea.
What was that tool the guy had in There Will Be Blood? Not that one. What was the other one?
Oh yeah, the cattle.
Not There Will Be Blood. What's the other one with the creepy guy?
No Country for Old Men. You're talking about the cattle locker.
Oh, the cattle gun?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so crazy. That was such a good movie, though.
Yeah. Or
I had to watch it like twice to catch. You know, it's one of those movies you got to watch like twice to get.
To catch everything? Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
We need the most expensive cattle prod that they sell. $84 seems too cheap.
We should start a series of videos where we review the most expensive version of a thing on Bud K and the cheapest version of a thing on Bud K.
It would be fun to do like a stress test on some of that.
Like Anthony Fauci with his monkey tests. Have you heard about this?
Oh, you let the dog... Was it the dog's face?
Well, there's that, but there's also the maximum pain threshold test that they've been doing on monkeys for some reason.
I can't handle that. That's like so cruel. I don't know. We don't need that shit no more. That's
basically they give the monkey fucking like leukemia or I don't know, like some disease that you can pat, like AIDS or something, and just watch them die. But they want to see, they don't want the data tainted by any other drugs or whatever. So they don't give them any painkillers. They don't give them any anesthesia. They don't give them any help. Nothing. And just wait till they die. I really don't. The more I hear about Fauci, the more I'm like, I don't think he's a good dude.
Oh, he's not a good dude. Like, no doubt. Fuck that guy.
Rapier's the one that you want if you're gonna fight with it, right?
I like it because it gives you a lot of distance between you and your opponent.
Like that's why this is like the epitome of sword when it comes to dueling. Like 1-on-1, and you want to fight one person, and they have a sword, and you have a sword.
Yeah,
this is the sword you want. Because it's basically like a fencing foil, but it's got more meat, and you can cut and stab with it.
Rapier
eventually evolved into a fencing foil,
right? Which is why fencing is a sport.
Yeah.
What? And they, you know, that's where like a bunch of those Germans got those fake, real scars. You know what I'm talking about? It was like bougie to have a fencing scar,
the dueling scar.
Oh, like the World War, like pre-World War II, like Nazis who became Nazis.
Yeah, they all like they wanted cool looking scars.
Yeah, you weren't cool unless you had like your fucking cheek ripped out with a fucking knife.
Duke, don't you want a cool looking scar? I mean, come on.
I mean,
yeah. So I thought I was gonna come out with a cool looking scar after my surgery, and I wasn't the fact at all. So, yeah, I hear you.
I mean, the scars are cool.
I have a cool looking scar.
I mean, I would also be okay with like an FN scar, but
Expendables throwing knives. Hold on.
Ooh, I mean,
the throwing knives from the movie The Expendables. That's funny. They will capitalize on anything.
I mean, you could like duct tape them to the end of a broom handle, a broomstick, and you got a good spear.
I have some like cold steel like throwing knives.
I heard there's an attachment you can get from Cold Steel that screws onto the end of a broomstick. Or
Yeah,
like
it's a spear. It's a spear tip. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool! I got to get some of those.
Yeah, you can just put you can put it on any stick. Like you can put it on a broomstick, a stick you find, like anything. You can just makeshift spear.
Because imagine throwing a spear.
The Bushman, right?
Yeah.
Or
What's up?
Do they make one that's actually threaded for a broom handle?
They might actually make one that's threaded for a broom handle. I don't know if it's like the ones I've seen are all like universal types.
Yeah.
They don't have threads on the inside. But
The Reaper.
This is what she should carry.
Oh no!
I like how in Bugs Bunny and shit now, Elmer Fudd carries a Reaper scythe. Did you hear about that?
I like how it's a short girl. To show you the model is this short girl carrying the Reaper.
Dude, have you ever seen someone cut the grass with one of these? It's actually pretty cool.
The Amish that live next to me.
Yep.
They use these things to cut the grass, and they can do it in like
they're insanely effective with it. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
They like beat their wives and stuff, but I mean, they cut grass.
So what did she do?
Yeah, maybe she shouldn't have let the pie cool so long.
As long as it wasn't any bigger around than their thumb, Duke.
40 cal blowgun spear dart.
Oh my god.
I saw 40 cal and I was like, wait, what?
Duke's like, I want to shoot that out of my gun now.
You can just load up darts.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. And you just make your own spear.
This is crazy.
What's crazy is they killed like fucking elephant-sized creatures with this shit.
Mm-hmm.
In the times before they were written, that I love to learn about, but there's nothing to learn. You can't really learn because there's nothing to learn because there's nothing written. So what can you learn?
The most bullshit thing I've ever heard of is the whole overkill hypothesis on why the mammoths are gone. Have you ever heard that?
Oh yeah, it's the great white hunter that came in and killed everything.
instead of more than likely some sort of horrible climatic change.
Well, I mean, when you consider that it happened on every continent at the same time, maybe it was an external thing, not a human-made thing. I don't know.
It fits their fucking bullshit narrative, though, if it's fucking overhunting. Like, I had that shit pressed on me, like, at every turn in fucking school. I kept going, that doesn't sound right. And, like, not to say that we couldn't have killed them all, but, like, to almost wipe out the buffalo took rifles.
The fuck is Karate Mart?
Like, there were a hell of a lot more fucking mammoths in the
same thing. Just Bud K. Here you go. Here's the Duke carry, the EDC.
Yo.
Duke, imagine just having that on your chest.
Be quite the time.
It's
you
quite
need
a
like
statement.
you need like two of them on like some sort of a holster rig that you can like put your hands behind your back and then something clicks into place or whatever. And then you just bring your hands out like fucking Wolverine.
Sometimes the claws slip.
You
So
know,
how
like the
excited are
nurses
you?
would like the nurses would be walking by like the therapy room or something like that, like the therapeutic room, and Duke would be sitting there like rising out of the water with both of those, like ah.
How excited are you for the new X-Men cartoon that picks up?
I'm very excited.
Super excited.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be awesome.
I don't know how one could not be excited.
Me too. It was one of my favorite cartoons growing up, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
What was that chick's name from Soul Calibur that had this as her weapon?
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of her name.
Oh god, what is her name?
She had big titties.
She did have big titties.
They all
all
had
had,
big
to be
titties.
fair.
It's a cartoon character.
Damn it, I can't remember her name. Someone in the chat, please tell me her name.
I'm having a hard time remembering any of the Soul Cal. It's been
it was
20 years.
Mitsurugi. Mitsurugi was the fucking katana guy. And then Keelik was the nunchuck guy. I don't remember anyone. Taki, there was Taki. She had the little fucking double short sword knife things. Ivy. Thank you, Kyle Rust. It was Ivy. Jesus Christ. I couldn't remember it. By the way, I will kick anyone's ass at that game anytime, anywhere. Soul Calibur. I'm the Soul Calibur champion.
Soul Calibur.
I'm putting that out on the internet. It's a bold statement. It really is.
Very.
I'm sure there's someone out there who's better than me, but few and far between.
I want to see like Jolly kick your ass now.
Is Jolly's
busy playing like Minecraft.
Yeah.
I don't know, just out of nowhere, like Jolly just has mad Soul Calibur skills.
It's all about the parry, man. You got to know how to parry.
I don't think I've ever even played that game.
Carcane says we can get Hana to buy Albion. Isn't that free online game? It's like Diablo or some shit. I can't remember. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
So Albion makes swords also. That could be what they're talking about. They make really, really high-end swords. They're made in England.
Well, let's look up Albion.
They're probably about the best production swords made currently.
Albion swords. I don't think that was swords what I was about to click on. How much are we talking here? Oh, when they don't even have a price listed, you know it's going to be too much.
Most of them are around $1,000, what I remember.
Order by... Well, I mean, at least fucking tell me that, so I can be like, oh, this is what $1,000 sword looks like. Instead of like, oh, it could be like 5,000. I don't fucking know. I don't know how they get away with charging so much for these things sometimes. Like, I get there's a lot of work that goes into it, but like, think about how much work goes into making a motor, you know? They're pretty cool though. Look like they're fucking heavy as shit.
Swords are usually really light.
I have a sword. And it's full tang battle ready, and I have cut down trees with it to make sure it would kill a zombie. Literally, that's why I cut down a tree. I found a tree that was like, this looks like it would be equivalent of cutting through a zombie's spine and a little bit of flesh, you know? Cut right through it.
Sorry, I'm quiet. I'm coughing like crazy. I'm getting high.
Jesus Christ, dude. This video, I can't even show you guys that video. There was a guy in Pakistan who was walking through a crowd or something like that, and someone said that he said something blasphemous. And the crowd turned on him, stripped him down naked, and beat him to death on the street. And then if that wasn't enough, they then poured gasoline on his body and lit it on fire while chanting Allahu Akbar. So, yay, Pakistan.
Tolerant people.
And then this is Israel. I don't know what happened. That guy was just walking on the street and he starts punching the like rabbi guy or whatever. But because it's Israel, there's cops everywhere, like whatever these dudes are. And dead. Or at least shot. I don't know if he died.
God damn it.
We've got 40,000 people demonstrating in Vienna against the lockdown because of the COVID vaccine. Jeez, it's too loud. 40,000 people. Why is this not happening in America? Because they're fighting it in the courts. We're not fighting it on the streets.
Yeah.
And the
There's
thing
a
is,
lot of.
we've been winning in the court is the thing. So
Yeah. There's a lot of countries, like, I don't know if you've seen like the protests in not Israel, Italy, France has been having some, like, there's a bunch of them doing them. But you don't hear about it unless you go looking for it.
Or yeah, because they don't want to fucking promote that because they're all paid by Pfizer.
Yep.
How many people did Moderna kill in 1 month?
Would you say it was a plethora?
Does anyone know the answer?
I don't know the exact answer.
I guess
No.
812.
16,000.
Well, by Price is Right rules, I won because I got the closest.
Dude, check
like
this
that.
out. This is going on in DC, I guess. I don't know if this was last night or tonight or what.
Fucking traitors!
Why are
And
they
everyone's like, they're Nazis because they're carrying flags.
It's not how that works, but okay.
And everyone on a bike, I think, is a cop. That's how DC is. There's just more police and fucking that kind of person there than anybody else, I feel like, sometimes. Like, look how many cops there are just following behind. Like, sure, you can protest, but you better not step out of line if you're on the wrong side of the ideology. But if you're on the right side, don't worry, we'll look the other way. Or if you're on the wrong side, we'll look the other way for long enough for you to get yourself into real trouble. And then we'll hold you forever.
Yep. I'd say gotta love it, but you really don't.
WHO claims Omicron in 38 countries, 0 deaths reported.
Almost as if it's not that big of a deal.
What if this whole thing is just a giant fucking social experiment and they just told everyone that there was a COVID?
I think it is. Well, I think it can be two things. Like, it can be not as bad as they're making it out to be, but it's also a social experiment to see how far they can push people into giving up their freedom in the name of safety. And it turns out a lot of people will give up a lot of freedom in the name of safety without blinking, and then blame you for not doing it too because you're putting them at risk. And I think a lot of that comes from, right, like, they're angry at you because they've given up their freedom and they still don't have the safety. The safety's still not there because other people are the ones who won't go along with it. And if they would just go along with it, then we would be safe. But since I've already given up my freedom, I've already paid the price, fuck you for not doing it. That's the fucking attitude. That's the wrong attitude by a lot, in my opinion. Can't stop thinking about the people that first ate mushrooms. They found and just had to go through the error, like, this one tastes like beef, this one killed Brian immediately, and this one makes you see God for a week.
I mean, if you think about it, like, that's how plant life has been. Like, I mean, our ancient ancestors just went through and was like, oh, nope, Og ate that flower and died. Don't eat that flower. Killed Og. Like, Oog ate this and didn't know where he was for a week. Eat this flower if you want to feel drug.
Oog ate this one and fucking went to Woodstock.
Yeah.
Well, the crazy one to me is ayahuasca, right?
Yeah.
Because not only did they have to, like, search the forest for one plant to make you high, they had to, like, search the forest for every combination until they found two plants that together, if you cook them in a certain way, like, how much trial and error went into that, I wonder.
Well,
it's alchemy 101.
The two plants that make ayahuasca grow together a lot, from what I understand.
Well, I was going to say, I wonder if they just did it by accident somehow.
Probably.
And then just repeated the accident.
But, like,
oh, that's how we did it.
Fucking 40-step process of shit you have to do to get this cup of mud that makes you high. Like,
well, it's the leaves from a bush and the bark from a vine, and you take them together and smash them up, and then add water and a little bit of vinegar, and you cook them up, and then you strain out the shit, and then you add more water, and you boil it down, and then you boil it down, and you boil it down until it's like nothing, and then you drink it.
See, that's just basically like 10,000-year-old tweaker knowledge. You know, like, this is how you get high in the woods, man.
I mean, it's basically what a medicine man was. Like,
yeah.
He was just a drug dealer.
Have you been seeing all the articles out about heart attacks lately? About, like, oh, it's because of cold weather that all these people, it's gonna, you better look out, it'll cause a blood clot because it's cold outside. Like, how many people have died because of a heart attack because they went outside and it was cold? I'm sure somebody, but, like, statistically in a year, you know, I don't think very many.
There's been that many.
Well, you see, the aliens programmed the coronavirus to just target those of us that would be a problem for their invasion.
Like, if you were on the verge of having a heart attack anyway, maybe I could see it, you know? But, like, then it's like you sneeze and your fucking heart beats too fast because of the sneeze and kills you. Like, anything could do it at that point. I don't know. It's concerning. And then, especially when you look at, like, the FIFA players, like, how many FIFA players have died this year? It's like 16 or something like that. And they're all, like, collapsed on the field. Don't know what happened. Had a heart attack. Had a heart attack. Had a heart attack. Collapsed on the field. Permanently disabled. Can't move legs. Like, fucking crazy shit. I don't know what's causing it.
It's the government. I mean, I joke, but it probably is.
CNN fires Chris Cuomo after helping brothers scandal.
Yeah, so they finally decided to fire him instead of just whatever it was, like, because they had they had laid him off or something like that, or suspended him. That's what they had done. Now I guess he's
fired him
officially
like
fired.
a year ago or more.
Oh yeah.
I would like to know what the real reason is, because like the official reason is because he covered up his brother's sex scandal shit, right?
Supposedly, yeah.
But how complicit was he in killing grandma when they were doing the lockdowns and they started sending sick people to the fucking old folks' homes and he wouldn't report on it? Or how complicit was he when his brother's making money? You know what I mean? Like, there's a million other things that it could be that there's probably evidence for, that they're perfectly happy to blame this whole thing on, like, a sex scandal, which is not the real thing, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was. That's all it was. But I think they're obfuscating from the real thing that's happening behind the scenes.
I mean, I think it's kind of a mix, because even people on the left were pissed down with the whole sex scandal thing, or the Andrew Cuomo, and then finding out that his brother helped him. It's like, fuck. Like, he's probably got his hands in a lot of other shit as well, just like you said. But it's like that thing already was pissing off people. It's like, we got to do something at this point.
Well, my point was, like, how many grandmas did he kill in old folks' homes because they were putting sick people with COVID into the old folks' homes?
Oh, yeah, shit ton.
Right? Did he get in trouble for that?
Nope.
No. Did the media really cover that? No. Are people really pissed off because he killed their grandma? Yes. Is that more of a reason to lose your job than twiddling the maid or whatever? I don't even know what he did. I don't really care. Like, I don't want to be insensitive to the victims or whatever, but I don't know any of them personally. I haven't read any of the stories. It's not my fucking circle of knowledge, right?
I think we all think that the Cuomo brothers should probably just go get hung. Now, how do we convince the rest of the country that?
I don't think you can say that.
I still laugh that he got mad for being called Fredo.
Yes, that was so great.
That's an insult to my people. It's like, no, it's fucking not.
This is my favorite interview of all time.
I'm half Italian. I fucking laugh at being like, if someone was to call me Fredo, that'd be hilarious.
Here's what Matt would have been if he moved to California instead of Texas.
Dude, you get the best barrels ever, dude. Just like pull in, you just get spit right out of them. You just drop in and just smack it. Drop down, smack. Then after that, drop in, ride the barrel and get pitted. So pitted.
I love that video.
That's totally Matt. If you move to California.
Yep.
Just get pitted, bro. So pitted. Oh.
Just drop in. Whoop-ah.
Watcha. My thing is, no human being really just talks that way. He's like putting on an act for everyone.
No, that's like I've met California surfer dudes, and like that's 24/7
how they speak.
How they speak, yeah. It's weird. It's almost like its own language, and you're just sitting there like, all right, man.
Sissy Dream says Cuomo has a net worth of $12 million. He hasn't been harmed by being fired. However, did he commit a crime? ? I hope so. Go get him. Never going to happen. Dems are protected. I mean, all you need to know about the current court system, at least in New York, is look at the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. The prosecutor is the director of the FBI. What was his name? Comey's daughter. James Comey's daughter is the prosecutor. So as the prosecutor, she's the one who gets to like bring evidence and this and that and like limit the scope of what's going to happen and, you know, like the charges and what's being talked about. So you can really like not get at the truth in a trial while having the pretense of having a trial if you have a fucking bought and paid for prosecutor, which I think that they might. They probably do. I mean, she's fucking Comey's daughter, dude, for Christ's sake. Talk about a fucking conflict of interest. Like, he's very directly implicated in being a fucking honeypot trap for the CIA to get foreign like nationalists to have dirt on them so we can control them, right? Like that's the accusation behind what's going on with fucking what's his name and why he died in prison, why they killed him, and why Ghislaine Maxwell is on trial right now is her part in that. And she's got enough information on her where if they actually took her to task and went after the people that were implicated with all of that, they could blow the whole thing up, just like if they got what's his name in the first place. I can't remember his name right now. Epstein, thank you. Sorry, I did not sleep well last night. I had a private party at work. There was like 4 or 5 people who were working it last night, and they were supposed to be done at 10 o'clock, right? Home at 11, good to go, get some sleep, be back at work at 10 in the morning, right? That was last night to this morning. Well, the party last night, while we made good money and everything was good there, did not leave until after midnight, which means we didn't leave till like 1 o'clock in the morning, which was significantly later. And then I had to be back at 10 o'clock in the morning still. So I got like no fucking sleep last night. Woke up at 10 o'clock in the morning this morning to do another private party this morning. And they didn't show up. Like a 200-person party didn't show up because there was a scheduling thing. They thought it was tomorrow. So I got like no sleep, had to go to work, set up a party, realize like wait around for a while, wait till they didn't show up, break down the whole party, and now I have to work tomorrow morning because of it. It's all good. I'm just a beat up old Honda who's about to turn 40. Fuck my life.
The big 4-0. You should buy yourself a 40 for turning 40.
Odie. This is
the 40 cal?
Odie. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. I don't have anything in 40.
Get a 40 millimeter.
Neither do I anymore, but I just figured it's an excuse to buy a gun.
Get one of those police trade-in Glocks or something.
You can find them anymore. I haven't seen those for a while.
I thought I saw them somewhere. I forget where. They pop up here and there.
Back in the olden days when you could get a 40 caliber police trade-in Glock for $200 or whatever, and now they're like
or
$500.
Yeah, you might as well get a
like
fucking new Glock.
Yeah.
Like $100 more, you get a new one.
Any Glock right now in 40 or 9 is worth money.
Yeah.
Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. Maybe that's all we need. Sorry, man. I'm fucking...
My buddies and I used to do for about a good year, we would do Friday night 40s, where every single Friday night we'd go and we'd pick up like 2 or 3 40s a piece and just sit and drink them. I'm glad my body doesn't do that to itself anymore.
Dude, I couldn't do that to myself anymore. Like, now that I'm like 40, if I drink a bunch and then go to bed, the next day is not a good day.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be you just go on with life like nothing happened. You just like rolls off you like water off a duck, you know? But now I get like soaked like a teddy bear. Like, it's not good.
You're like an old, dirty, soaked teddy bear covered in shit.
Tara says, I lost my mind when I turned 30, but turning 40 was great. I lost what little give a fuck I had left.
I mean, I guess I lost my mind when I turned 32, but yeah, I was going through some shit.
I wasn't a fan of turning 30, but once I accepted it, it was fine. I don't know.
I came out as gay and trans in like a 3-month period right after my 30th birthday.
Yeah, turning 30 didn't really bother me. It was more just like, oh, my 20s are over. Like, that's kind of how I looked at it.
I like went and got a job in sales and like did all this stuff, and none of it worked out. And it wasn't because of me. It's because the company sucked. And, well, I mean, I guess that's because of me, because that's the company that I got hired at, that I chose to work at, you could say. But still. I don't know. It really disheartened me because I got hired at this like corporate sales job where I could go to businesses and pitch them an idea that would save them money, but it was really a ripoff, and I didn't realize that until like halfway through training. But it's too late now. I already quit my job, you know?
Yeah.
I also got a new job when I was 30. But that was the job that closed our office this past year.
Yeah, well, they fucking laid everybody new off after 3 months. It was like right before 3 months, which means it didn't show up on unemployment for them.
Yep.
So they got to lay everybody off, and no one got to claim unemployment. Because the only job that they had for me on unemployment was the job that I quit to go to that job. And they asked me, why am I not at that job anymore? And I said, because I quit to go to this new job. Well, you don't qualify because you quit that job.
Yep.
Well, I got laid off from a job that's not that job. Well, that's the job we have on file for it. You can wait like till next fiscal quarter when those numbers come in, and then you can reapply. I'm like, well, that doesn't help me at all right now, does it? Fuck me. Unemployment's a bitch, dude.
It sucks.
It's like they give you enough to not do anything, not go anywhere, barely subsist on like, so it's not enough money, right? But then on top of that, you got to like jump through all these hoops and do all this shit and show them numbers every week, and you know, like,
I don't even mind the showing the numbers because like when I was doing it, like you had to apply to so many places. I think it was like 4 places a week. You had to apply 4 separate days. You could apply to you had to apply at least 1 place a day for 4 separate days during the week. So like not that big of an ask, especially with things like LinkedIn. You can honestly hop on and click the apply now button. It takes 30 seconds and that counts as your application for the day. Like if you wanted it to. Now granted, I was applying to like 60 places a day, but whatever, like you would only have to record one of them, and it's just like, oh, here's the place I applied on this date, and if they ask you, you can just go check your email where you get the automatic notification. But Arizona's unemployment, what sucks is like they cap you out at the max you can get a week. Doesn't matter how much money you earned in the past, the max you can get a week is $250. So like after taxes, it's like $214. It's not even enough to pay your bills a month.
See, like Colorado, they have a max also. I think it's like $525 or like $550 or something like that.
Yeah.
But they only pay you like 30% of what you made. So you have to you had to be pulling in like $2,000 a week to get the $550 a week with unemployment.
Yeah, Arizona pays up to 20% or with that cap. And then because I had been on unemployment once when I was in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania pays 80% up to like $600 or something, I think, a week. Like it's considerably better. Like you can actually survive on obviously it depends like what your rent is and shit where you're living, but for most people, like you can survive off unemployment in Pennsylvania. Like Arizona, like there's no way to survive off unemployment. I don't even know why we have it.
Dude, Texas is apparently the place to go on unemployment because they pay you 100%.
Really?
According to sources, yes.
Interesting.
Sources.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I also hate being on unemployment because it's like you're stuck sitting around, like you feel just like a useless sack of shit because you're not actually working. It's like,
yeah, like really, honestly, yeah, you really do feel like a worthless sack of shit. Like that's how I felt the inside, and especially when they weren't even paying me, dude.
Yeah,
because it took them 16 weeks to get the first fucking payment from them, which granted was all the back payment too, but still, it was 16 weeks of not getting paid shit.
Yeah,
and I was going insane, dude.
Yeah, well, for that like 4 months that I was on, I was going nutty. Thank God I had some savings and like a severance, but even that like didn't last that long.
I mean, I had a little bit of savings. I had a credit card, and I had some stuff too I could sell, and that's the only way that I got through it. I did have like a bunch of food sitting around, like storage food that I could eat, and like feed the kids with. And basically, like, I could go to the store and get a 6-pack of soda and a pound of hamburger meat. And I had everything else to like make a dessert and make dinner and like, hamburger meat for something, like everyone's fed for the day. And I spent like $5. So if I didn't have that, I would have been fucked too, because like,
yeah.
Now I gotta buy pasta and pasta sauce and this and that and bread and you know what I mean? Like, god damn.
No, I was in the same boat. Like, thankfully, I had some food saved up, and like I used the credit card too, which sucked, but I was able to pay. I was able to cover all my bills and stuff during that whole time. And then I got the other job, and then after a month, that didn't work out. But I already had another job lined up, so I was like, okay, well, for the 3 weeks, I'll just do shit on the side and make money. I'm not gonna even bother with unemployment and going through that fucking headache.
Dude, when they finally paid me, $3,000 flew out of my account as soon as it hit the account because I had to pay my brother-in-law back some money. I had to pay off my credit card and I had to pay up on rent, and it was $3,000 like instantly.
Yeah, I'm still paying back my credit card stuff, but
I don't like carrying credit card debt.
Either do I. I just, with everything that happened this past year, I didn't have a choice. So it's just something I'm chipping away at slowly. It doesn't help that. Seems like every time I just paid over $1,000 on it on Wednesday, and then with everything that happened today, I'm like, fuck. Figures.
Got to use the card again.
Yep.
Yeah, they keep upping the amount that they will let me swipe my card for. But I don't take advantage of that, Like, I could go out and buy, like, a car and swipe the card pretty much at this point if I wanted. Like, a cheap car. Not a really good new car, like a used car. But I could still get a car with my credit card if I needed one.
Would it be a better car than the $2,000 Honda?
Yes.
That's something at least.
No, when my card's paid off, I'm in the same boat. Like, I can get a very nice used car for the credit line I have. It's just, I had some stuff on there already that I was like, oh, this is going to get paid off in no time. And then it's like, oh, we're closing your office. Good luck. And, yeah, and then for 4 months, it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to be using a lot more of this.
Galaxy Waffle 99 became a YouTube member. Awesome. Thank you, Galaxy Waffle 99.
A great name.
It's a strange name.
Galaxy Waffle. He waffles the gas.
It sounds like something you get at Denny's for, like, they're promoting the new Star Wars movie or something like that. Come into Denny's and get the new Galaxy Waffle.
I'm just thinking of, like, an entire galaxy that's just a big waffle. Like, light years of waffle. And people, like, live and die on the waffle.
We live by the waffle. We die by the waffle.
Instead of a flat Earth, it's a round waffle.
Yeah, that we're just in one of the divots.
What if we're in the waffle Earth?
I'm sure someone out there like has a theory about that.
We're in our own divot, and we think that our divot is the entire thing, but yet there's other pocket divots all around us that we are not even aware of.
Yes, exactly. The ice wall keeps us from seeing them.
Yep.
In fact, there's a lot of words.
Waffle Earth Theory. The Waffle Earth Theory by Devin Pascal.
Holy shit, it's a thing.
I wasn't even joking, and I'm not surprised. I don't want to read about the Waffle Earth Theory. Jesus Christ.
What's the syrup?
Like, yeah. Well, leave us in suspense. What's the theory?
Fuck, now I want waffles.
Yeah, waffles are good.
Do you think they're gonna fucking fuck shit up more next year? Is next year gonna be worse or better than this year?
I wouldn't like. It's a 50-50 to me. Like honestly, because personally, like this year has been one of the roughest years I've had. So I'm like, is next year going to be worse than that? I can't see that it is, but at the same time, the second I say that, like something will fucking happen, right? So who the fuck knows? Like going into 2021, I figured it would be worse than 2020. I feel like now enough people are. It's slow, like it is extremely slow, but more and more people I feel are starting to connect dots and see shit. So maybe it won't be. I don't. But does that mean they just double down super hard, even more? Like, fuck, do I know?
Daniel says, "You think those parents from Michigan thing are going to be convicted?" I've been too busy to really look into what's been going on with it. I know that they were, quote, on the run from the law, but I also know that there was some message from their lawyer to law enforcement about why they had to get away from their house because of all the death threats and stuff against them, which also makes sense, right? Like, they just killed people's kids and they know where they live. So,
yeah,
like, moving from your house isn't necessarily, like, admission of guilt. But then there was some text message thing that I saw between the mother and the son where she was like, don't do it, or please don't do it, or whatever, like right before he went on the rampage. So I don't know what she knew or like what's going to come out. Maybe they'll get charged in court. I'm not sure. What do you guys know? I don't know what's going on. Really,
I don't know that much. Like I'm kind of in the same boat with you. Like I've to my own like honesty, I also haven't been following it as much because I'm like don't. It's sad to say, but I don't care as much about the story. Like I'm curious as to what happens once they go to court and stuff like that, and what facts come out. I think right now it's one of those things where we just don't know enough. Like there's so much confliction that's like
that. I think is like one of those issues as a gun owner who has children. It's like a nightmare scenario. Like your kid fucking does something with one of your guns, like that's terrible. That's like one of the worst things that can happen if you have guns and you have kids. That being said, like my shit's locked up. Like it's in a safe. The kids can't get to it. They're not allowed to get to it. They don't try to get to it. They know that they're not supposed to play with fucking guns. They know enough about them to know they're fucking super dangerous and to be careful with them. And I'm not really worried about it. But I don't know. Like, what do you do if you got a fucking kid who you're like, I don't know, like little Tommy's kind of got a nut loose or something?
Little Tommy keeps murdering stray cats.
Maybe I should keep my handgun in a safe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I've never had to run because I don't have any kids that I know of. And obviously I don't have kids that live with me. So I've never had to run into that issue. Now, granted, that being said, I have lived with people who have had kids. Like I had a roommate for a while that one of my best friends, like he had a kid that would spend some nights with us and stuff like that. But he at the time owned firearms. So like his kid knew not to touch, don't touch fucking guns. At the time I only had a couple and they were all places where he wouldn't know where they were. He couldn't really get to them. Like he would have had to put in a fuck ton of effort to get to them.
Daniel says, "What's the difference if your kid took your keys and went out drinking and ran over some people?" Really, there's like that's the worst thing they could do with a card. I mean, there's not much of a difference there, is there?
No, yeah, it's same concept, and I mean, I feel like that probably happens a hell of a lot more often than not because, I mean, I know I went for joyrides as a kid. I don't know if any of you guys ever did, but
I went for a joyride in the car that I bought that I wasn't old enough to drive yet because I worked before. Like, I had money from working when I was like 14 and 15 and bought a car like 6 months before I turned 16 and it just sat there in the driveway,
Yep.
And I would take it out on occasion. It's like my fucking car. Fuck you. I don't know if you call that a joyride. Kind of.
No, I mean, yeah, because you're technically not legal enough to drive it yet.
Well,
Yeah,
the car didn't have plates. It didn't have insurance. I didn't have a license. Like, if I got caught doing that, I would have, like, that would have sucked.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
real
that
bad.
would have that would have fucked you over. See, at least mine had, registration, a license, plates on it. Just I didn't have a license at the time because it was my parents' vehicle. But yeah. Again, though, like we all did stupid shit when we were younger. And I understand that there's parallels. Like we were going out, driving vehicle, like just doing shit. Like we weren't taking a gun to go do nefarious things, but.
Dude, there's this big hill on a really straight road just outside, just on the edge of town. And I drove my car up to the top of the hill, went around the corner, found a good spot to turn around, came around the corner flying as fast as I could, hit that straight fucking downhill road, and gunned it, right? Just pedal to the metal, right? And the speedometer on this old car was a 1985 Pontiac Parisienne. Only went up to 85. The speedometer reached past 85 and was touching 0 again. I don't know how fast it was going, but it was like if it was incrementally the same, it was like 120, right? Like I don't know if I was going 120 in that car. But it was like 120. It felt like 120. It did. And I'm like, okay, it's like coming towards the bottom of the hill now. I'm going to start slowing down. I took my foot off the gas and I touched the brake. Like I didn't hit the brake. I just touched it. And the whole car starts shaking violently. Like I almost fucking died, dude. It's a bad idea.
Honda went all Ricky Bobby. I'm going fast.
I just wanted to see how fast. It was my car, man, that I bought with my money. I wanted to see how fast my car that I bought with my money could go. And it turns out
I can't blame you there.
Turns out pretty fucking fast. Like dangerously fast. It was fun though. That's why I'm scared of my kids driving. I'm like, you're going to do some fucking stupid shit, aren't you? I already know it.
It's almost like one of those things though. It's like I feel like by me, going out and joyriding and doing that type of shit, like I almost avoided when it did become time. Like I still did stupid shit, obviously, but it wasn't as stupid shit. I feel like I'm probably wrong in that, but
I do less stupid shit now than I did when I was younger. Like the younger I go, the dumber it was. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying I'd never do anything stupid now, because I do. But, like, the frequency of stupidity has gone down as the age has gone up.
Yeah, I'm much more aware of my actions and their cost, associated with them, typically.
It's called wisdom, my friend. Wisdom.
Sneaks up on you.
Okay, I wanted to watch some of this. I don't know how much of it we can watch without getting in trouble, so we'll do like 10 seconds at a time. This is the new HBO Max Christmas Story thing.
When you're a kid, there's only one day a year more special than any other day.
So it starts out like, hey, it's a nice Christmas movie. It's got a girl elf. Like, that's fine. There's girl elves. That makes sense, right? Christmas tree, snow, Santa. Okay, cool. Christmas movie. 2021.
And that day is Christmas. And we are the magic behind that day.
So it's a cool story about like the elves and what's going on behind the scenes at the North Pole and Christmas and stuff, right? Like it's
I can't wait for the twist. It's gonna be great.
Let's get these fucking kids some fucking presents.
What?
May I present the hardest working man in Snowbiz? Good.
So it's coming. Hold on. I just don't want to fucking play too much at one time and get dinged or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
can't wait to see what this is.
This is fair use. If we keep pausing it and talking about it and talking over it, fundamentally changing the value of this content, YouTube. Hence, fair fucking use. Look it up.
Golly, he's jolly. Our own Santa Claus. Hey, Merry
What the fuck was that?
Elf titties.
Okay.
Good news, sir. More American kids believe in you than they do in vaccines or the Holocaust.
That's great. I mean, disheartening for America, but great for us.
Okay, like, okay, it's lighthearted. It's funny, right? There's elf titties. Like, okay, like I could almost be down with this, right? Like, I think I am. I think I'm sold at this point. Thus far in the trailer.
I'm here from the North Pole Times. Have you decided who will succeed you as Santa Claus? Subtext: Santa's old and knocking on death's door. Fuck you. Good question. I'll give it some serious thought. Bye.
All right, it's coming. It's coming. Little twist there. Oh, he's being seceded, right?
There have been many Santa Clauses throughout history. Some were loved, others loathed. But the position of Santa has mostly been a white man's game.
Oh, wait a minute. What's this? That's a sudden turn.
Exactly. It's fucking crazy. Things have got to change.
My advice to you is, whoa, if I die, get rid of my porn!
I want to be the next Santa. If this is your dream, you have to at least make your case, bitch.
Again.
I get antidote that jolly bitch. I know you're right, but do you really have to call me bitch every time you say something?
Yes, bitch, because it's empowering to call you bitch.
Bitch.
Not any messaging going on or anything. No, not at all.
Let's go over what we know. Santa and the board are all male and all white. They play golf, drink, smoke cigars, say things like, "Don't ever marry your mistress."
Just so you know, the women...
Seriously? They're making it about all kinds of shit? Okay.
Women of the North Pole make fun of one of your dicks. Have fun wondering whose it is. What I need to learn is how to throw out with these guys. You know, shoot the shit, do shots, shoot shots of shit.
She has ideas, but can she really be the face of Christmas?
Sarah Silverman, Seth Rogen. Okay, you sold me. I'm not watching it.
Now it's all the dots are connecting.
Yep. All the dots. Like, it started off like really good. Like, oh, it's like Santa, but behind the scenes, elf titties, cussing, curse. Okay, it's funny.
If you really wanted to make something funny, you could make the premise of this with the fucking elf chick Santa and just make fun of woke culture the entire time, and I'd be on board.
Great. That would be, it would be awesome. But they don't want to do that.
They're not going to do that.
Tara says she sent me a picture on Discord, I'm assuming. Hold on.
My thing is, like, why are we making animated shit with titties that is a Christmas thing that obviously children are going to watch, and now this is going to, like, indoctrinate them?
You know it is. That's exactly what... You answered your own question. The fuck? It's like a vagina with wings and teeth. A testicle.
See, that's why the kids should watch that Mel Gibson Christmas movie from a couple years back, where he was Saint Nicholas and the like hitman was coming after him or whatever.
I like the one where Tim Allen was Santa.
Fat Man.
Yeah, Fat Man. That was the name of the movie I was thinking of. Yeah. But yeah, Tim Allen was good as the Santa Claus. The sequels were
Yeah,
from what I remember. It's been a long time since I've watched them, so like I'd have to go back and rewatch them again.
Havetsi Gulas Kindaki. Czech goulash and dumplings. The dumplings are the sliced bread. Dumplings are the sliced bread. Looks good. I remember my grandma made the fucking best food ever. Like, better than anything I could make, better than anything my mom made, you know? They just had magic back then, like grandma fucking food. It looks kind of like grandma food.
Get you some of that grandma food.
Yeah, Savage, I agree.
I'm gonna be honest, they lost me from the creators of Sausage Party. That movie was an abomination. I never even saw that movie.
I saw it, and like at first I was like, "Oh, this actually doesn't look too bad." And like watching, I was like, "Okay, this is fun." And then like it just started going downhill, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is." I don't do enough drugs to get this movie.
I do enough drugs. I didn't get that movie.
Oh, this is the video of them pulling over the guy who was following the Rittenhouse jury bus.
Oh, yeah.
Your office is in New York or what? That's right. How did they know about this vehicle? Law enforcement wants to talk to you.
So he gets his producer on the phone, and then she's like, I don't know, they were just wanting to follow, I was told that they were to follow the vehicle. Like, ma'am, you know that they were following the jury bus. Yeah. Well, there was a vehicle of interest that they wanted to do a story on, and I gave them the go. Like, just not admitting to shit while, like, literally admitting, like, yes, we're trying to dox the people on that bus so that they vote the way that we want them to. Or we're going to rile people up to the point where another motherfucker hops in a Ford Escape and runs over a fucking parade in a couple of days. Directly responsible, in my opinion. It's also why they're not talking about it. Aren't there children still in the hospital from that shit?
Pretty sure.
Is that not worthy of news? Like, children in hospital because of a fucking parade murderer? Like, no, it's fine. We've already moved on. 24-hour news cycle. It's cool, bro. I don't do drugs, but my takeaway from Sausage Party was God is a lie, be a heathen, and we have no morals, because that's really the only message. It's like Satanism in movie form.
I think you're overthinking the people that made Sausage Party. I think they just don't give a fuck. Had to guess.
I don't know. Like, what's the premise of the movie?
I don't remember. There's hot dogs and talk.
No, it's literally all the food that we eat is really their own, like, I mean, you know from the trailers, like, they're living entities, and the hot dog has fallen in love with the hot dog bun, and then someone comes in and, like, picks them up. Yeah, as they do, picks up a bunch of food, and they go home, and they're like, oh, we've been selected from the grocery store. We're going to, like, they think they're going to this, like, ancestral plane or something like that. Like, they're finally free from the grocery store. And then they realize the horror that people eat them. And so they're like, oh, we got to fight back. We got to warn everyone in the grocery store. So then they escape, and it's this big whole, like, rigmarole. And then, of course, the stoner guy gets so stoned that he sees the food talking to him, and he realizes that the food's actually alive.
Dude, I'll tell you this much. If I ever buy a hot dog from the store, and one of the hot dogs and one of the buns, like, hops out of the fucking bag and runs back to the grocery store, I'm not eating any of the other hot dogs.
That's probably just that one. Nothing to see here, folks.
I mean, that's like if, like, you buy like a lamb chop and or like that fish. Remember that fish video in the oven where it was flopping around?
Yes.
The zombie fish. Like, no, man, I'm good. I'm not going to be eating that.
I am A-okay. Yep.
Zombie fish.
The food viewed people as literally gods. Then when they leave the store, they are about to be cooked, and they figure it out and stop living by the rules. What if we're all in, like, some fucking metaphorical, like, conveyor belt towards a slaughterhouse that we're all ending in a little bit here. That's a fucking scary thought.
We definitely are. It's called death.
Well, there's that, but I mean, I'm talking more untimely.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. Seems like shit just keeps getting weirder.
Right. I mean, like World War III coming up, maybe. Civil War coming up, maybe. Economic downturn for like Venezuela style coming up, maybe. Like all of those things at once, maybe. Natural disaster that, you know, is long overdue. We got like the faults in San Andreas. We got like fucking Yellowstone ready to blow potentially. Like who knows? It could be tomorrow. It could be 1,000 years from now. Not sure when that's going to happen, but it could be tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like who knows what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
Some of that shit's within our control. Some of it's not. So I guess discount the things that you can't control, but I don't know. The governments are doing crazy shit. You're absolutely right about that. And it's fucking scary as fuck. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Ever since, like, as soon as we heard about COVID and knew how bad it was, I've been kind of freaking the fuck out because, like, everything on the fucking chessboard got changed when that happened. And a lot of people, like, I guess were slow on the uptake or still even don't realize that, like, the whole fucking world changed when that happened, and not in like a little way, but in like a big way, as far as like our own ability to project power around the globe and a lot of other shit. Like,
well, I mean, we're heading into an age of humanity for the first time where human beings, you and I, everybody listening, is more of a liability than they are a resource. Right? Because it used to be like if you didn't have people working in the fields, then everyone starved. So we need people and we need them working in the fields, right? And then it was like, well, machines do that now, so we need people like working to produce things and making the machines and doing this stuff. Now it's like robots do that, so like what are all these people going to do? We have to feed them, we have to take care of them. Well, maybe we could get rid of a couple of them here and there and people wouldn't really notice, and you know, we got to control them a little bit harder. So we got to get these passport things done and all this other stuff. And, you know, pretty much in a couple of years, it'll really progress technology wise and we really won't need all these people. So we'll have to like, you know, maybe move them to like centrally located areas where we can manage them from a more cost effective point of view because they're just a liability. You know, like that's the scary thing that I'm worried about. And I think it's coming. I don't think that it's avoidable with the technology that we have. Like, why would you have people do stuff when you can just have a robot do it?
I think we're headed towards this, like, postmodern, post-humanist fucking future that, like, it could get scary.
Well, and when they're centrally planning the resource allocation to everybody, and they're like, yeah, communism's great. Well, what happened in communism every time so far?
People starved.
More than that, they got put in the gulag. Because if we've created this perfect system that works for everybody, and it's not working for you, well, then there must be something wrong with you. We got to take you out of, like, you're obviously the chink in the armor. You're that piece of fucking, like, extra material that we need to cut away to actually get this thing into the correct shape that it needs to be in. So we need to seek those people out. And then you seek those people out, and then all of a sudden their kids are mad at you. Like, well, okay, well, now we got to get the kids too, and then their friend. You know, and like it just spreads out, and then pretty soon you got as many people in the gulag as you have guarding them. You know, like more people riding in the cart than pushing it when it comes to work. I guess the robots take over for that in the future, but then they can just be like, well, you know, we gotta reduce the amount of carbon. Let's get rid of a couple million people here. Like fucking what's that dude's name from Fifth Element? Zang?
Zorg?
Zorg, that's what it was.
Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg. Good for both righties and lefties. I love that movie.
Corey Long says, everything is backwards, bad is good, good is bad, up is down, down is up. The rapture is coming. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen next. It's a scary thought. Buy enough food, have some ammo, have some guns.
I think you should go buy a shitload of spam and a shofar so you can blow your trumpet at the end for God.
Get like a generator and some fuel for it. Buy some propane for your barbecue. Extra propane doesn't hurt. You know, like those little things that you can do. Because if shit gets bad, it'd be nice to have that, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Get some medicine, you know, like whatever pills you need to take or whatever, if you need pills, vitamins, minerals, that kind of shit that you're not going to be able to go out and buy later. Have like stocks of that stuff. Band-Aids, bandages, alcohol, marijuana, if you smoke it.
The marijuana.
I actually pretty much don't even smoke anymore. I just vape.
I haven't smoked in fucking months now.
When I smoke weed, it tastes weird because I've been vaping for long enough where like my body's like, this is what I like now. And then I'll smoke. I'll take like a hit. And I'm like, ugh, it tastes like fire.
It tastes so bad. Yeah.
But when I used to smoke cigarettes all the time, I'm like, well, I might as well smoke weed too because I'm smoking cigarettes. But then I quit smoking cigarettes and just switched to vaping. I need to go through with quitting that too, though, because I don't think it's very good for me. It's better than smoking, but I don't think it's good for you, you know?
Yeah. I quit vaping nicotine for about a month, and then Thanksgiving happened, and I bought a nicotine vape.
Ooh, I want to see what the poll's at. I haven't looked.
Honda loves polls.
Is next year going to be worse than this year? We've got 69% of people say yes. 31% of people say no. So 70% almost of people think next year is going to be worse.
How much worse? I think we're in for a rough, like, fucking decade, man. I don't see this getting better anytime in the near future, if ever.
Well, I mean, looking at the finances, right? With how much money they've been printing, how fast they run out of the money once they print it, the amount of dumb shit that they throw that money at, just based on that alone and the national debt going up and up and up and up, and it was like parabolically going up right now.
What happens with modern monetary? Sorry, I thought you were done.
I was going to say, I don't see how it ends well. I don't see how they can turn it around.
What happens when modern monetary theory turns out to be correct and like nothing happens and we're all wrong?
Well, let's not forget what happened in 2008, right? Right before this giant market crash and like all the shit that happened in 2008, Bernie Mae, Freddie Mac, all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
These companies, these investment firms with CDOs, consolidated debt obligations, had billions and billions of dollars in these funds and were rated by the rating agencies like A+, top of the line, best investment. You can use this for your retirement. It's safe. And all of those companies, not all of them, but many of the companies that were rated A+ by the rating agencies, it turns out they were paying off the rating agencies. It was all a fucking Ponzi scheme. These houses that they were selling were going for way more than they should have been because they're flooding the market with buyers because they're giving everybody money. Anyone who can sign their name on a paper will get a loan. You know, like that was kind of the policy back then. And I wish I had known that at the time. I would have tried to buy a house because I probably could have figured out rent. Then I would have been a homeowner.
What if that whole housing crisis bubble is just like the universe is like, if you want it bad enough, it gives it to you, and everyone all at once wanted a house?
Like that movie with Jim Carrey where he gets to be God and he just replies yes to all.
Yes,
Oh, Bruce
exactly.
Almighty. Yep.
Exactly. This is an unseen consequence of everyone getting told yes.
What the fuck did I ask for?
Everything.
I think I know what I asked for, but I'm not gonna go there.
Sissy Dream says food and safe water are the only problems in a zombie apocalypse. A safe structure can be found. Food, though. Yeah, you gotta have enough food, man. How much is enough, though?
There's never enough.
I mean, if you have so much food that if you started eating it now, you would have to throw some away in 20 years because the expiration date is over 20 years now. That would be enough, right? Because you can't have, like, let's say all of your food expires in 20 years. You've got like the 20 years shelf stable, whatever food. Buy 20 years worth of food. That's enough. Because if you have 21 years worth of food, then it's too much. Corey Long says, aren't they talking about another stimulus check? I mean, the fuckers are evil and crazy. They're trying to crash America, and most people are standing on their heads in the sand. It's true. Savage says, when the food runs out, we'll still have each other.
That's pretty savage.
Well, that's when you're like, glad we got a Great Dane.
Yep.
If you follow my meaning. That's a fucking sad thought.
A dog is a fine meal.
Patriot reference.
Mm-hmm.
Does dog taste like chicken or does it taste like fucking beef? I wonder.
I have no idea. I guess you could ask the Chinese and the Koreans.
I bet it tastes like pork.
Human, the other white meat.
Sometimes.
I wonder what human tastes like.
There is a concoction of food. No, it's not. There's a concoction of foods you can put together. Like, I've seen videos online where they're like, oh, you ate human. And it's like, granted, we can't actually feed you human, but it's like there's people that consulted with like cannibalistic tribes, and they're like, yes, this concoction of these ingredients is the closest thing to eating human.
Savage said, I would eat my family before I eat the dogs.
I would probably do the same.
I would eat the neighbor before I eat my family.
Oh, yeah.
And I would let my kids eat me before I eat them.
Unless you were the zombie, and then you wouldn't know.
Would you eat zombie if you were hungry?
No.
No.
Is that how you become a zombie?
Probably.
I mean, maybe. I don't know the science.
Maybe that's how you become like the smart zombie because you didn't die. You just like changed into a zombie and you got to keep your brain, you know?
And all the pieces of your body. Maybe.
Superbad says, I can use another Biden check. My wife just wrecked her car. She's at fault. So I'm going to get fucked on the money, I'm assuming. What you're about to say. That sucks, man.
I'm sorry.
Maybe she should work and get herself a new car. Bitch. Oh, super bad videos. Fix it for me.
Maybe that's not the kind of arrangement they have in their relationship.
I can't do anything for myself. You need to buy me a car. That's what I'm assuming is happening. In which case, she better be hot. And when you bring her that car, you get anything you want for like a month at least. Every night.
Buys her a fish. So buys her Power Wheels for like $150 on like sale. I got you an Escalade.
Have you seen the go-kart truck guy video? Like the black guy at the gas station who
yeah, yep.
Get her one of those, dude. Just get her a go-kart. Put a license plate on it. Call it good. Wonder how fast that thing goes. Dude, you could put like a motorcycle motor in a go-kart and that thing would go fucking fast.
Yeah, you can. It's like typical. It depends on how many cc's they are and stuff. I've seen them in all different sizes.
Well, a lot of people buy Ninja 500s because the motors are bulletproof. They make good torque and power, but not crazy. And you can buy a used Ninja 500 for like $1,000, you know? And tear the motor out, and it's got all the controls and stuff for the motor and clutch, and, you know, like, build it into a go-kart somehow, and you got a fucking fast-ass, cool-ass golf cart, go-kart. Ooh, or get her a 98 Civic, like Calhoun's saying. And then get one of those like $500 Chinese fucking kits to go on it, where you can put a turbo on it or whatever.
No, do not buy an eBay turbo kit. You're just asking for issues.
I mean, you're gonna blow up your motor. But
that's true, yeah. But it'll be fast at least for a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be fast for like a week. Oh, you could tune it down to make it work potentially, if you know what you're doing. Which I don't.
Get her a cheap laptop. She can just have the tunes right there in her passenger seat. She needs to go a little faster. She can just select the tune.
Yeah, then you rip out all the interior and like the dashboard and all the bullshit, and you put one of those racing bucket seats in it.
This is a win. Nothing can go wrong.
Like,
somehow,
what's up?
Somehow I'm betting his wife isn't going to like this car.
Oh, she'll love it. Or you can make her get her own car. I don't know.
Cut the cat off in the muffler. Just straight pipe it.
Drill out the air intake so it gets more air.
Oh shit! We all did in high school. Well, clearly not all of us, but.
Okay, so buy her a bicycle, like you're saying, and then get one of those Chinese 2-stroke fucking bicycle motors kit things to go on it. Problem solved.
Yes.
I saw them on Bikes and Beards. They worked fine until they were like, okay, we're going to do a red line test. Which means put the engine at red line and wait till it breaks.
Yeah, they work fine until they don't work fine.
It was like 10 minutes, dude. It was seriously like surprisingly fucking short amount of time to break that engine.
I believe that.
Have you seen that video of the guy on a scooter doing 60 down the highway?
No.
I saw a video of a guy doing like 80 miles an hour down a mountain road on a scooter.
No, thank you.
Because he was just tucking.
Just let Jesus take the handlebars.
Yeah, it was more downhill than the fucking motor on that thing. But it had like bicycle wheels on it. You know what I mean? Like they weren't motors. They weren't like street tires. But you could lean into a corner and take a corner and be relatively confident that it was going to stick. You know, like that thing. Like, god damn, the video of that guy. I thought he was gonna die. Like every time he leaned over. Nope, I'm not buying her anything with a gas engine. Damn, dude, what did she do? She fucked up.
Sounds like it.
They're a pair of roller skates.
This dude that I work with has like a little gas powered scooter thing, you know, like a stand up on it, motor on the back wheel, little scooter thing. It's kind of cool, right? It was parked in the garage at work, you know, yesterday or whatever when we were leaving. I was like looking at it like, oh, that's kind of cool. He shows up to work today. His face is like a hamburger, bro. He like hit a pebble or something and went flying over the handlebars and landed face first onto the concrete. And like his forehead, his fucking cheek, his fucking chin, his eye, like everything's all fucked up. Oh shit. Pat Riot dropped in $40. Thank you, sir. Jesus Christ.
Oh damn.
It says happy 40th. Check out Rogan interview with Jimmy Corsetti. They talked about the Athentins. What is that word? Atlantans. Atlantis, and book about how periodically an event on the Earth core rearranging the Earth's crust. Look up Eye of Africa on Google Maps.
Yeah, I've seen that before. You have two Honda. At least Matt and you and I looked at it.
Yeah, Matt. That's like Matt's favorite fucking theory about Atlantis.
I like Antarctica theory.
It's the Eye of Africa. But you would think that if that was what it was, there would be some sort of ruins or tools or doll or like something there that you could fucking dig up and find, right?
You would think, but
I mean, what caused that? It looks like a crater to me.
I always thought it looked like a crater.
With just like differential layers of shit that wore away differently over time or whatever, so it looks crazy and weird and it's got colors and stuff to it. Like, it's very intriguing. But I bet it's just a fucking asteroid impact. I don't know, though.
I bet you there's gold at the center of that there horseshoe.
Well, I never heard of Jimmy Corsetti, though. I'll have to look him up when I have time later. Maybe listen to that. It's a good idea. I don't know. I've heard about the poles shifting periodically. So the North Pole will become the South Pole. South Pole will become the North Pole. We're in the middle of that process right now. But that doesn't change plate tectonics, I wouldn't think. Maybe. Maybe it would make every fucking fault line on the Earth go off, too. I'm not sure.
Hail,
like I was watching videos about earthquakes, actually, earlier today. And they were talking about how on the east coast of the United States, especially in the Mississippi Valley, earthquakes there cause so much more damage than they do on the West Coast in California. And part of that is because buildings are built to code because earthquakes happen more often in California and yada, yada, yada. So when one happens, it doesn't damage things as much, right? But the other part about that is the hard pack fucking crust in that area mixed with like the waterlogged fucking shit under the ground makes liquefaction happen when there's an earthquake and like causes all kinds of extra damage further away from the center of the earthquake than it does in California just because of the terrain or whatever. I don't know. I don't really understand why, but they were showing examples of like people reporting their house shaking with a 5.7 earthquake, and like in California it was like within a couple of kilometers, right? But on the like Mississippi Valley area, it was like 10, 20, 50 miles away. People were feeling it, you know, like crazy fucking shaking and building damage that happened further away from the epicenter.
I think a lot of the earthquakes they have in California are just from it being near the tectonic plate boundary, right? So they're small and whatever, right? When we do have one on the East Coast, it's like a once in 150-year thing that like something slipped and broke and now everything's changed. Like, have you heard of the new Madrid Quake?
I'm looking it up right now.
It changed the path of the Mississippi by like several miles.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember this a couple years back.
Well, that was like in the 1800s, I think.
(1811, 1812) New Madrid earthquake sequence. Yep. Earthquakes are scary places, man. Getting near an earthquake. That's why I like Colorado, because there ain't many earthquakes here. But then when I think about it, like, where the fuck did these mountains come from? Seems like a couple of earthquakes may have happened here at some point. I'm not sure. Like, mountains don't just pop out of the ground without some shaking, right? I wouldn't think. I don't really know.
They pop out of the ground like dwarves or night strikes.
Jesus Christ. The theory is that there are no female night strikes.
I knew someone would go there.
It's the beards.
It's the beards. Night strikes like Colin Robinson on that fucking What We Do in the Shadows show, where like he just like explodes every 100 years and forms a new one of himself.
He's like that episode of Rick and Morty where Rick has sex with a planet and they start making like little Rick planet things out of clay that can run around.
Yeah, and he has to form some sort of machine to build them a society.
Yeah. It's a fucked up society, Night Strike. It's a bunch of internet porn and...
See, maybe that's the real theory. He's God because he got the planet pregnant and formed our civilization. I don't buy that one.
If Night Strike was actually God, I feel like this world would be... There'd be more suffering than we already have. Night Strike is a vengeful god. He threatens lawsuit.
He is wrathful. He never will let that whole blue dress thing go.
No, fuck no.
We get it, Night Strike. You like the blue dress.
Calhoun said it makes the Earth's magnetic field so weak it would increase the solar and cosmic rays, supposedly could cause humans to stay inside and could ruin crops and kill plants, cause climate change. Like, are you saying in the process of the pole shift? Because, like, the way it works, according to what I know, which could be wrong, as the pole shift happens, like, somewhere in the middle, it basically cancels itself out and there is no pole or like it's a very weak magnetic field because the poles are in the process of shifting. So it would let a bunch of fucking electromagnetic radiation in. There wouldn't be any aurora borealis. And we'd all get fried if you're outside and there was a fucking solar storm.
So does this mean that my compass isn't going to point north anymore?
It'll point south.
It's unfortunate. What are my new compasses?
Actually, according to the theory, if I remember correctly, it doesn't even necessarily end up like 180 degrees from where it started. Like it could end up that the North Pole is in just some other direction, you know?
It points now to the Midwest.
It's Mecca. That's why Mecca is Mecca. And then
the pole realigns with the location of Mecca's black rock to signal the end of the world.
Yeah, and all the Muslims will say how great their God is in their language. Something about a snack bar.
Muhammad. Durka.
Dude, that video of them killing that guy in Pakistan was goddamn disturbing. Like, they strip him down to his underwear, and, like, 50 people are like around him, just kicking and punching and throwing stuff at him. Like he's like dead on the ground, dude, like dead. They're kicking him in the face and blood's going everywhere. And they fucking take his body and douse it in gasoline and burn it. And then like everyone's cheering. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, what's wrong with you people?
Allah Akbar!
Jason J says magnetic north has been moving around recently. I'm going to need a source for that information.
Yeah. Show us your degrees, man.
Yeah. Do you have several degrees in magnetic earth fucking theology? Because otherwise, fuck you. Make an argument. That wasn't directed at you, Jason J. If you've been watching recently, you know what I'm talking about. You're a good dude. Yash says, what did the Pakistan guy do? Someone blamed or accused him of blasphemy. I don't know what he did or even if he did anything. He got accused of blasphemy in the middle of a crowd in Pakistan. That was enough.
I like to think that he screamed "cocks are delicious" in the middle of that crowd.
I mean,
you don't think so?
That might have done it.
Might have done it.
Oh.
I still don't get the gay hatred. Seems like the weirdest thing to hate to me.
I hate lesbians.
That's just because they won't let you join in.
Yep, that's why. Because I want to get in the middle of that sandwich, and they won't let me because they're lesbians.
See, that's why I'm not going to go there.
You think there's more lesbians or more gays?
There are way more gay men, I think. I don't know. There are quite a few lesbians, though. Maybe I just see more gay men.
I think a lot of lesbians are just lesbian on paper, you know?
What do you mean?
Like, if they found a guy that they actually like, they would take a dick.
Well, lesbians come in two forms. One of them's like that, and then the other one is like the hardcore man-hating lesbians that will never date fucking men ever again, probably.
Yeah, and I know there's a fair amount of those, too, to be honest. But I'm saying there's a lot of, like, paper tiger lesbians.
I think the vast majority of women, if they found the right woman, would be a lesbian.
I feel like a lot of that's because they just want attention, though, you know?
Oh, and that's definitely
we've made it in our society to where if you're like a girl making out with a girl, like everybody loves you, you know? Like the girls love you and the boys love you. You get attention from everybody on all sides constantly.
Yep.
So they have a lot of motivation to make out with a girl. Even if they're not really into it, they can just stomach it or whatever, you know? Agreed. Yep, I'm a lesbian. See, the trick is you got to like turn trans and then go lesbian.
Yeah, they still don't like you then. They'll be dating other trans women.
Do you think the trans movement is a movement towards transhumanism?
I don't know. I know I have my own issues, and like aside from all the political bullshit and all the shit going on or whatever, this is a real issue for me. That's all I know.
Do you know what transhumanism means, basically?
Yeah, where you go to a machine.
Right, and you can be whatever you want. You can be whoever you want because you are the avatar inside the game or whatever, right?
Yeah.
What if the push towards transgender, trans whatever is a stepping stone towards transhumanism, which is coming on the coattails of all of this because of the technological jump that we're having in the future, you know, like in the present, really.
I think that the transgender shit in America is all to do with families and like somewhere in the 50s or 60s, a generation of kids got fucked up, and then those kids fucked up their kids, and then those kids fucked up their kids. And at the end of that line, there's a bunch of like technological shit going on that makes it to where like men don't have sex as much as they used to, and it makes people fucking do shit. It's like, I don't know. I've had my own issues since I was like very small about this shit. But like I've met a whole bunch of people that like I'm convinced they're just like a sex addict.
Well, I think it's more of like a personality disorder. You know what I mean? Like not you, but like a person who would want that kind of attention constantly would always seek a way to get more of it. And they'll do like a cost benefit analysis of that. Like, what is the cost of dressing like a girl or whatever it is versus how much attention do I get? Of course I'm going to do it, right?
Well, I think they are seeking attention, but they are seeking like male sexual attention. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I guess. I
mean, at least based on my own experience and all the people I've met that were also trans, like there's a bunch of them I think that would be perfectly happy as gay men, but like the men that they're attracted to think it's hot when they're a chick.
I don't know. It's just that growing up my entire life, like I'd seen a few cross-dressers here and there, you know, it's like I knew that they existed. I knew that transgender was a thing, right? But like you and two people at my work and like randomly at a store, you'll see somebody, like there's numbers of people in my life or in my surroundings or whatever you want to call it that are trans now. And I've never had like firsthand experience not like that with trans.
I think the COVID shit and all the end of the world shit made a lot of people fucking go, what am I doing? What do I really want to do with my life? And a lot of them went, I'm a woman.
Tara says, you can join anytime, gorgeous, but I'm bi. I'm just married to a woman.
See, that was my thing with my girlfriend. Like, I was bi and she was a hardcore lesbian. So, like, I was more than game to have guys sandwich us up, but she was never into it. I got her to like 3 times.
Most every single girl I've ever dated in my entire life has some level of crazy going on, though. And I think that's caused by
estrogen.
Well, society today, because they're told like you can have everything and you can do everything and you're as good as anybody, and you know what I mean, like, and that's not always true. You know what I mean? Like, you can't always do everything, and you're not better than everybody, and you know what I mean?
I think we've raised like a generation of women that don't have normal sex lives, if I had to guess.
Well, think about it this way, like
Tinder and fucking
exactly. 2021, you like as an attractive chick, you can go on Tinder and like put a picture up and make a like 5-second profile thing and put it out there, and you'll get thousands of messages from dudes of all different walks of life, and you know, like,
dude, I put pictures up on Tinder with a little description and I get thousands of messages. Imagine if you have a vagina, you probably get more than that.
So they have this, I don't know, illusion of infinite possibilities, of infinite numbers of dudes that they could be with. So why would they ever choose one, right? When they can, you know, hop on to the next one. And you're looking for like that. What they're looking for is like the perfect guy, right? Like magic dick, magic bank account, magic job, tons of time, super nice, super funny, super attractive, like they want every little fucking box checked. But what they don't realize is that they themselves are just, you know, like a decent looking chick. You're not like 10 out of 10, but you get 10 out of 10 fucking feedback from the people that look at your profile online who want to put things inside of you. So all of the feedback that you get your entire life because of 2021 is telling you not to settle down, that you have more options, that you have more time to do it, that you should have an education and a job and power and money and stuff like that. But then the thing is, that clock runs out, right? There's only so many years that a girl's fertile for. And once that clock runs out, you can't have kids anymore. And moreover, you become less attractive to the opposite sex. Like, dudes don't want to be with some old chick who can't have kids. You want the young girl who can. And it's just that's what we're wired to do, right? And so it's like this terrible fucking ending to the story that is a surprise to them, because their whole life they've been taught that they can have everything and they've got all the time in the world and they can make whatever choices they want, and there's always another option. And then all of a sudden those options run out and the attention goes away and life isn't going great. And then you get these like 40, 45, 50-year-old Karens who run around fucking pissed off at the world and pissed off at everybody and trying to enforce rules that they have nothing to do with.
And I was watching a podcast that was a bunch of like 50-year-old lesbians that were angry at the world or whatever. And like the thing that they were bitching about was the fact that men found trans women hot and not them. I'm like, well, that may be because we act like women.
I don't know. I do know this, though. I have to work in the morning, and I don't usually have to work on Sunday morning. So I'm not looking forward to it, and I got shit to do before I go to bed tonight, so I might have to end this pretty soon here if you guys aren't going to be too mad at me out there in YouTube land.
While we're on the trans subject, do you think that it's like a conspiracy that like they're slowly trying to like fuck with everybody or some shit?
Well, that's what I was saying with the transhumanist movement, right? Like, it's not too far of a step from I don't feel right in my body to I don't want to be in my body, I want to be digital. And if you get people going along with that, and then here's the thing about it, right? Like, yeah, they can do this is the idea, is that they do a brain scan and they make a copy of your brain, in effect, and then terminate you. And then you exist in the fucking computer program. But is that you? Is that your consciousness? Or did they just copy your brain and kill you? I think it's they copied your brain and killed you.
Man, I have a lot of issues with my body, and I don't know if I would even be up for fucking swapping bodies and shit.
I mean, let's say that they could take your consciousness out of your brain and put it into a computer. And it is actually your consciousness, right? Well, who's in control of that computer program? Like, what do they want you to do inside of it? You know, like maybe there's some work that they have you do, some pain that you have to go through, some bullshit and now it doesn't end. Now you're there forever. Now life goes on forever. Now if you're sad, I mean, I guess you could have yourself deleted maybe. I don't know how that works.
Man, like, honestly, I am becoming more and more convinced that like the point of our society is to feed pain and suffering to some oligarch class of psychic fucking vampires or something like that. Like, our whole society is like what you were just talking about. It just feeds it. It wouldn't surprise me if they wanted to make it never end.
Well, there is a Satanist movement going on in this country. It's the fastest growing religion in the United States is Satanism. And a lot of people say like, oh, well, it's just self-worship and it's not really about the devil or whatever. But then if you listen to certain people who are higher level in these groups, actually it is about Satan. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know what's true with it. I'm just telling you guys what I've heard.
I like to not be a Satanist. That's where I like to be.
Seems like the wrong side of the fucking history to be on, doesn't it?
I'm not a joiner though. I'm like, I always do my own thing.
Fucking joiners, man.
I went to like a fucking Christian school, and I hated it there so much. Like, rather than fucking go to the cafeteria and eat lunch with all the fucking little people that I was forced to go to school with, I'd go and like eat lunch at a picnic table across campus. And after doing that for about like a couple of weeks, I had like a half a dozen people eating with me who'd rather eat out there with me than fucking be in the fucking cafeteria. I'm like, I did the right thing.
Fucking Japan, dude. Y'all on some crazy shit over there.
The Japanese, I think, are a peek at our future. Like
look
at their relationships, men and women, and like what's happening to their women as they slowly turn into anime characters, and as their men slowly turn into like suicidal people that never have sex.
They turn into Hello Kitty Darth Vader.
Yes, that's just badass.
Just saying. That actually looks good. Cherry pie fucking Starbucks. It's got cherry pie on top of it.
Looks interesting for sure.
Well, I worked at Village Inn for years, and they've got shake machines and they've got pie. If you put a slice of key lime pie with some ice cream and milk, it actually turns out pretty fucking good.
It's called diabetes in a cup.
Oh, I'm sure it's not good for you.
We blend a whole slice of pie into this shake.
I have seen like on like one of those cooking shows where there's some diner or something like that that's known for putting like pieces of cake or like pieces of pie into basically a shake machine, just making a shake out of it. Obviously with like ice cream and all that stuff, but
I like how Tara invited you to a three-way. We're just leaving that up. She thinks you're pretty.
Well, she hasn't seen me in the morning. No, I really don't do much. I told myself I'm going to start working out though. Starting this week. I was going to go tomorrow, but now I have to work instead of working out, which fine. So I guess I'll go on Monday. And start working out.
I want to buy a treadmill.
I don't like working out at home because I get sidetracked, and before I know it, I've got like a YouTube video going with a soda and a snack, and I'm sitting in front of my computer instead of doing the second set.
Yeah, I need to be at like I've done at-home workouts, and it's fine, but I prefer being in an actual environment. I feel more motivated.
Well, yeah, because you want to get through it, you want to get done, so that you can get back home and do the things you want to do.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, I don't have as many distractions around me, and also too, like it helps, when I am there and like my buddies show up or something like that, because then it's like, okay, well now I have that extra peak of motivation or whatever to go through. But
I want to try some of these crazy Kit Kats.
I've seen some weird ass Kit Kats that they have, and like some of them I'm like, that might actually be good. Other ones I'm like, nope, fuck that, nope. I'm not having like an octopus Kit Kat. I'm good.
Like we got green tea Kit Kats. We got orange lemon lime Kit Kats.
I do one of those.
Strawberry cheesecake Kit Kat.
I do one of those.
Cheese and wine Kit Kat. I don't know what that is.
I don't know if I would eat that.
I mean, I'd try it.
This
I can't say I wouldn't try any of them. I try all of them at least once, but like there's many more that I'd be interested in trying than
purple frosting Kit Kat. Like I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be.
What's purple frosting? I mean, I know the color.
Purple frosting.
Oh, you're right, a purple frosting.
It's like grape frosting.
Honda's very pretty when you shut the lights off.
Honda's pretty for a man.
But it's fucking ugly. Sorry.
Ugly for a boy, though. Getting too old for my vocation. I know that. How much are these square watermelons?
I don't know.
Yeah, you got me.
They were like $100 in The Simpsons, but that was back in 1998. So
we grow the watermelon in cube form, so it fit better in a refrigerator.
And I guess that's the end of the crazy Japanese photos.
The Pokemon Airbus.
I just wanted to see the fucking Hello Kitty Darth Vader. We got to see it. So
I don't know what Hello Kitty sounds like, but I want to hear what that sounds like mixed with Darth Vader now.
Can I be honest? I don't even really honestly know what Hello Kitty is.
It's a cartoon. I know that.
I've never seen the cartoon. I know people have like Hello Kitty everything. I know that it's popular for some reason.
I think the cat's kind of cute. I like it on stuff because of that.
I know the women and the gays like it.
The gays. I don't have a single thing with Hello Kitty on it.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did, though.
I just think it's surprising that I don't.
I'm pretty sure I've referred to Honda as Discount Christian Bale. I'd give him a poke if he asked.
Told you, Honda.
Oh, man.
I didn't say you were attracted to women.
Yeah. Men love him. Wasn't there a second part? Nope, that's it. Men love him.
Men love him.
All right, guys. I do have to shut it down, though. I have to wake up ass early in the morning and go work. But I'm still planning on doing the Gay Frog Chat tomorrow. So if you guys are down, I will be around. But I do have to take a shower and put my work shit out, go to sleep, wake up early. It's morning. I have to be there. I know you guys are gonna make fun of me at 9:30 in the morning.
Stay tuned to find out if Honda goes in for the threesome with Tara.
When it's already like 11 something your time, and you still have to do that shit, so you're probably not going to bed till 12:30 at the earliest, and you haven't slept, like 9:30 approaches quick.
Yeah, and I did not get enough sleep last night because I was there till 1 in the morning, and then I had to be there at it was 10 this morning. So
yeah,
I got not enough sleep at all. My brain is not working correctly right now.
Brain hurty.
Brain worky slowy. Honda is wish.com Tim Pool.
No, that's Matt. Matt's wish.com with Tim Pool.
Well, I do my Tim Pool rants, or rather, Tim Pool does Honda rants.
Yes, that clocks out.
Because I feel like I was doing the rants before he was. He used to just talk about the news, and now he does this like live show where he does rants. I ranted first, motherfucker.
I think Tim Pool watches this show and bases his show off of what we do.
Yeah, on a
you
weekly
merely
basis.
adopted the rants. He was born of it.
Honda is Alibaba Tom Selleck.
Jesus.
I met Tom Selleck at Wanamaker once. He wouldn't fuck me.
Was he a good dude?
He was really nice to me. We talked about Swiss rifles for like 15 or 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Then he, like the next table down, refused to give an autograph to some old lady. And I was like, aw.
Matt is wish.com Rogan.
I like that.
That I could see a little bit more.
So does that mean we're like the wish.com version of his regular like comedian friend guests?
Can I do that fat Cuban guy?
Oh, Joey,
Joey Diaz.
Yes.
I love Joey Diaz.
I do too.
Yeah.
Joey's great.
I don't know, the first couple of times I saw him, like, who is this guy? Like, because I'd watch Rogan to like for intellectual reasons because I don't want to like hear the guy, you know, like the expert dude that he has on talking about whatever it is. And they kept having Joey Diaz on, but I've learned
Joey
to love
Diaz
him.
talking about people's mookie and shit. Sukulamink.
Sukulamuk. All right, guys. Well, love y'all. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.